Okay, so here's just a quick demo of the application. I'm going to show it to you real quick. Here's the main screen on startup. I've already loaded it. This is using a Nexus 1. The CPU is a ARM, and it's at API level 19, which is, I believe, Honeycomb. So this is the main map image that you see. It shows all the parking lots that are possible. This is a spinner. These are various selections. Woodland parking, it basically zooms in on the image, and these are the possible places you can park. And you notice the number of spots available basically updates itself. Depending on the image, the screen size stays the same, so like for a larger image like this, it stays the same size, and for, I believe I already did that. Yeah, for something like this, it zooms in on it. This is the athletic building, and these are spots available. Same thing, large image, it gets scaled down for screen sizes. If you click on the shuttle schedule, this launches the second fragment. Forgot to mention before, this is a fragment, this isn't the main activity. The main activity is just hosting this single view fragment and the shuttle fragment. These are the 3 possible shuttles that you can take at Abington. These are the street corners at where they're at. And basically updates this. For this demo, this is originally read-only, but the emulator was having a lot of issues with that, like it wouldn't let me scroll. It just basically displays the time. Very simple. Useful, but very simple. And notice the back button gets grayed out, which is helpful. Basically the same for all the other ones, just different information. Some of these are longer because I think they're more active. I think Bridge Street is most active. Yeah, like this one, fairly short, but still gets the information across. And if we go back, that's about it. Again, both of these are fragments. They're maintained by the main UI. I'll just go through this real quick. These are all updated programmatically. On startup, I load the single view fragment, which is this fragment right here, and it looks like, we've already seen it, but it looks like that. And basically wire up the UI. First I inflate the view because it needs a view to inflate, and I'm not using the parent view of the main activity. Also, to mention, in the main activity, this is where the fragment will be loaded. It's hosted in a linear layout. I could have done a fragment through the XML, but I just felt like this was easier. It just fills the parent, which is the whole screen basically. After I wire up this UI, I set the array adapter to this this thing right here. This is the array of just the different parking spaces. And I have a custom layout for this as well. It just basically centers everything, because it wasn't centering before. And then I set it. Then I set up the listener for it, for the spinner, the listener for the button. The only real programming thing is just right here, which is basically, again, creating the fragment. This time we're replacing the current fragment, which would be this UI, with the shuttle fragment, which you'll see. And this is just basically updating the image view. and we're just setting the parking spaces because we know the actual number, and that's about it for this fragment. When we create this fragment, originally I had it to be reading from a text file, but I was having a lot of issues with that because the emulator doesn't have a real file system, so it makes it really difficult to store text files on an emulator and then be able to show it to someone. But it works on a real device, but for this we just basically hard-coded it in an array, or string I guess. Again, here I'm just inflating the view, wiring up the UI, setting this to scroll, and this is where this would normally be read-only, but for the emulator I didn't do that because it would do weird stuff. And here, this is just some logging stuff. I was having issues with this fragment earlier, but I got it straightened out. We're just setting the various schedules to update the text view whenever you press a button. And another important thing, this is the back button again. We're loading the previous fragment, but we're replacing it. This right here, add to backstack, basically makes Android forget that it had a previous fragment. It's kind of a good way to ensure you don't have a memory leak. Not that there isn't garbage collection, because there is obviously, but when you're dealing with fragments you can get a lot of errors quickly, and this basically helps get away. And this is just committing all the changes and some more debugging information. And that's about it. So, thanks.